Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is ECW Heatwave. And ladies and gentlemen, it is safe to say as this event begins, we have reached a boiling point. Not just with what we've got going on here tonight, but with, that makes absolute, in terms of the heat, but in terms of what we've got going on in ring as well here tonight. It is going to be a big one. It is going to be a heat wave. There's no other way of describing it. This action is going to be what it's like to sit in a heat wave, and you're seeing it there with our opening match of the evening. Let chaos ensue when MKULTRA and the Wyatt family meet in a Tornado 6-man elimination matchup. The ring is ready. The arena is ready. I don't think we're quite ready for what we're about to get ourselves into with this one. It is going to be something to behold. And as to will this one, maybe less insane, but still that level of personalness, that level of hatred for both men shines through between Roderick Strong and Neville. There is no title on the line between those two, but the hatred that is there, that is what matters most to both men. That is what they care about the very most as well. Then we move on, though, to the first title matchup that we're advertising here tonight. One of 4 title matches here tonight, and one matchup it is going to be Kenny Omega and Tetsuya Naito for the ECW Television Championship. Mind games galore between these two men. Of course, who wants to be champion? Both of them. Who gets to be champion? One of them. Will it be Kenny Omega or Naito, though? The answer for us will be at the end of this evening. And boy, oh boy, what an evening these two men are going to be in for. The main event of this evening as well. For the ECW Championship, it is a 30-minute Iron Man match between Kyle O'Reilly and Seth Rollins. They are going to lay everything on the line tonight in order to be ECW Champion. O'Reilly thinks he can do it. He just needs time. Rollins knows he can do it, and he's going to prove it in these 30 minutes. Before we get underway, though, with Heatwave, before we get this show started, let's go back to that opening match of the evening and find out how this one all came to be. Oh, you know what's next. This is all over. It's MKULTRA! Even flow! DDT to Bray Wyatt! Whatever this was, MKULTRA won it. Raven has decided that he is challenging anyone from the Wyatt family. Raven, be careful what you wish for, because a monster might just accept it. Oh no, here they come! MKULTRA from behind now, attacking the monster among men. But at Heatwave, we are going to have a 6-man tornado tag between MKULTRA and the Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt and Raven will meet inside a steel cage. Even flow! DDT! Raven just beat Bray Wyatt. A war of words between Bray Wyatt and Raven. Oh no, he couldn't wait! Of course he couldn't wait! Raven with a discus clothesline. Even flow DDT, powerbomb through the table. It is going to be complete chaos. And MKULTRA has been given their message. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Well, let us not wait around any longer. Let us commence with ECW Heatwave. This is what we have waited for. This is one hell of a way to kick it off. If we're going to break the ring, we might as well break it in the first match. Set the tone for the rest of the evening, I guess would be the way to go about it. Here we go. MKULTRA and the Wyatt family. What are we in for here? Are we sure that the right decision has been made here? I don't know. I really don't know if I've made the right decision with this one, but we are ready for it. Luke Harper, Alexander Wolf, and the leader, Raven. You saw there everything that has led up to this occasion, dating all the way back to Living Dangerously. And the chaos will end here tonight. This entire arena may well burn down. This is what a heatwave is all about necessarily. These two sides both possess it because they have the ability within them to burn down the very foundations of this arena. Oh boy. What are we in for? Let us find out. MKULTRA stand in the ring, but are they prepared for the trio that will stand across from them? Bray Wyatt, Aleister Black, and the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Are we ready for this to commence? I don't know. I honestly don't know if we're ready for it. All the altercations between Bray Wyatt and Raven, my apologies, come to a closure here tonight. All of their face-to-face meetings, they're locking inside a steel cage, the powerbomb through a table this past ECW. That all comes to a close tonight. Oh, what an evening this is going to be. And what a way we are starting things off as well with this one. You can feel, though, the nerves kind of settling in, the reality that this is what we are in for. This is what we are going to be witnessing. This is not something where we can just sit here and go, oh, this one's going to be fun, isn't it? I'm going to enjoy watching this one. I am almost worried watching this one because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be... I mean, well, I do know it's going to be an absolute brawl. I do know it is going to be completely insane. But what I don't know is how insane it's going to be. How over the top it is going to be. How much damage could be caused in this one. The crowd is on their feet ready for this one. I am ready for it as well. Strowman, Black, and Wyatt. Wolf, Harper, Raven. Oh my goodness. Let Heatwave commence. We're underway, and things are getting off with an almighty bang. This one is going to be beyond tough to call, but the rules are simple. You are pinned or you are submitted, you are eliminated. And the first team to be fully eliminated loses this contest. There are no countouts, no disqualification. As a matter of fact, you can be pinned anywhere within this arena. But it comes down to one simple fact. Even if only one man stands on the other team, if there are 0 on the other, that team wins. Think of it as a Survivor Series match, but turned up to 11, fully chaotic, and with no real way of telling what is going on most of the time. Raven and Aleister Black squaring off in the ring. We'll keep our eye on that one for a few moments, see what happens there. Aleister Black went for a leaping knee there and missed it. Luke Harper and Braun Strowman. Strowman's bringing out a weapon here. Suplex in the background there by Alexander Wolf. Steel chair was also, sorry, not a steel chair, sledgehammer being used. And a back suplex on the apron for Raven. The Wyatt family in control right now. Oh, no. Uranagi slammed there by, Bray Wyatt onto the steel barricade here at the arena. Sledgehammer in the gut. The Wyatt family are in total control over MKULTRA right now. They welcome the chaos, but the monster among men goes into the ring pole. Aleister Black going up the concrete flooring here. And look at that suplex there by Alexander Wolf. The tides have turned. MKULTRA now the ones in control. It is so tough to see what is going on. Alexander Wolf in the background there. Death Valley driver on the steps to Raven. Bray Wyatt, rather, my apologies. What else is going on here? Back in the ring currently. Braun Strowman has control of Luke Harper. Raven in control of Aleister Black. Luke Harper locked in a triangle choke right now, and I don't think the other members of MKULTRA are aware of it. If Luke Harper passes out, Ura taps out, he's out of it, and it's advantage Wyatt family. Uranagi into the steps by Bray Wyatt to Alexander Wolf. Harper, though, doesn't... is he fading? I can't tell. I don't think he is. No, he hasn't. He stayed in this. Now the Bray is going to kill you chance has begun here at this arena. Aleister Black, meanwhile, with the Dragon Sleeper locked in here. Will Raven tap out? Would Raven resort to a submission? Is the leader of MKULTRA going to go out first? Keeping our eyes on it, trying to see if he'll submit. He will not. Oh, no. This could be disastrous, though. Running power slam. Aleister Black. A missed with Black Mass there. Cover here. Luke Harper's done for. Luke Harper is done for. Braun Strowman getting the elimination. MKULTRA 3-2 down. And Raven. Keep your eyes on Raven and Aleister Black right now. Raven pulls him in. Even flow DDT on the concrete. The referee running for it. This could be what brings Aleister Black to an end. 2, kick out from Black. Referee took too long. But the chaos now engulfing in this one. Oh my god, no. This is dangerous. Bray Wyatt couldn't stop it. Oh my god, Fireman's carry flapjack to Aleister Black there. Meanwhile in the ring, Braun Strowman eyeing up a suplex. Bulldog by Raven on Wyatt. They may be 3-2 down, but MKUltra is still fighting. No matter what the occasion here, Braun Strowman though manhandling Alexander Wolf in the ring right now. Buckle bomb to Wolf. Discus clothesline from Raven. But the numbers game proving too much here. Strowman, meanwhile, is just having the time of his life. Neck breaker there, but both men are down. All 3 men are down there. The only one standing right now is Braun Strowman. The monster just slamming the steel steps through into the leg of Alexander Wolf. Raven up on his feet here. Looked like he might have been looking for another even flow. Steel steps though into the face. DDT countered there. Braun Strowman with steel steps in hand right now. Oh my goodness. Just blasted Alexander Wolf again. And Braun Strowman all in the ring. Running power slam by Strowman. There is a chance that Raven could be screwed. And he is. It's 3-1. Braun Strowman just eliminated both of Raven's lackeys. And now we're down at 3-1. Let the chaos begin for Raven. Uranagi into the steel railings. And now the Bray is going to kill you chants have fully engulfed this arena because the Wyatt family are in complete control. Raven is screwed. Was all it worth it for this? Is this what Raven wanted? Because this is what he's ended up with. The entire Wyatt family ganged up against him now. Into the steps goes Raven. And this is what happens when you cross the Wyatt family. Oh my goodness. Was it worth it living dangerously? Was it worth the attacks inside the steel cage? Was it worth the powerbomb on the table on this past episode of ECW? All for this? All to be manhandled by Braun Strowman, Aleister Black and Bray Wyatt. Hung out to dry on the steps, and I think on the way down, on the rope, sorry, and I think on the way down he caught the steps as well. Misses with the kick though. Does Aleister Black, but Bray Wyatt just rekindling control. Raven is in complete no man's land. Oh, good God, they both come running in, catching him in some ways. On Strowman now, oh my goodness, walking over Raven. Oh man, you are done for. You are really done for here. Braun Strowman has him in his grasp now. Raven powerbomb down. Bray Wyatt. As the Wyatt family stand around, look ready to end it. Sister Abigail. 1, 2. It is not over. Raven kicks out at 2. And the torture stays alive. I imagine there's a sick, twisted part of Raven that enjoys this right now. Being manhandled. Being destroyed fundamentally. Raven trying to roll out of the ring temporarily there. Oh, look at this. Trying to get a second's breath away from them and he can't. But he's fighting back here. Atomic drop to Aleister Black there. But back in the ring he goes. There is no escape from the Wyatt family, not anymore. Raven is going to answer for all the problems that he committed against the Wyatt family. Raven is going to pay for them personally. Sister Abigail has already struck. What else are they going to give him? This, I have never seen the Wyatt family this united against a common cause. Dumps him down there. Aleister Black now Dragon Sleeper into the Dragon Slayer combo. Locking it in on Raven. But he won't let him tap out. Braun Strowman there, just the Wyatt family getting into a little bit of this sick-minded there, that hungry nature. They all want to, in some ways, they're not finished getting their hands on Raven. Raven keeps on fighting, but they still want to keep on fighting him as well, as evidented there by Strowman rolling out of the ring. Oh, look at the strength of Wyatt now. It's basically dead weight in his hands, in all fairness, but still. Here we go. Aleister Black. He wants to have a go now, as the entire Wyatt family watches on. Black Mass into the cover, but Bray Wyatt tells him otherwise. Wyatt wants to end it, and Raven still kicks out. Not for much longer. He is actually going to do it. Braun Strowman, running power slam to clean sweep the entire of MKUltra. They did it. The Wyatt family shows that when you mess with the Wyatt family, when you mess with their business, oh, do you need to be ready? Do you need to be prepared to face them? Because otherwise, that is your outcome. Braun Strowman, though, pinned every single one of them. Strowman pinned Raven, pinned Harper, pinned Wolf. Strowman eliminated all of MKUltra. But that last elimination against Raven was the sweetest. They all got involved, and they all removed the threat of MKUltra. What a way to kick things off a Heatwave. And the night has only just begun. But the chaos, for now at least, has ended with a Wyatt family victory. Well, after that chaotic beginning, let us move on to our next contest of the evening here at ECW Heatwave. It is time for the Cruiserweight Championship to be defended in a submission match. I know we're already bringing out the big guns. I mean, that was one hell of a way to kick things off a Heatwave, though. Absolute, just chaos is the only word that I can use to describe what we witnessed here tonight. But I loved every moment of it. That was insane. And they truly, truly tore down the place. And we haven't even finished using it yet. So, not bad at all so far here at Heatwave. Anyway, let's move on to our next contest. As I said, submission match for the ECW Cruiserweight Championship, as I am coining it until we can officially get the name changed, between Drew Gulak and Zack Sabre Jr. Now, Gulak became the #1 contender a week and a half ago, winning a triple threat matchup also involving Buddy Murphy and the man who Sabre Jr. beat this past episode of ECW in Mustafa Ali. And now as this match arises between these two submission athletes, these two masters of submission, we wait to see what will happen when, to win the match, you've got to make the other person tap out in order to win. Now, Zack Sabre Jr. knows that he can do this. As a matter of fact, I believe this is how he won the Cruiserweight Championship back at what was the last one? Living Dangerously from Austin Aries. I think he won. I think that was another submission match that the belt was on the line in. If it wasn't, then they both tried to win by submission, that's for certain. Sabre Jr., though, for sure, is in a submission match here tonight. He's got to win, to be fair, with his prime way of winning. This is the thing, it's a submission match, but it's not as if like both these guys are in uncharted waters. Their finishing moves are submission moves. The Gulak versus Orienteering with Napalm Death. Both men, technical wrestlers in their own right. Both men grapplers. Not exactly guys to get into a strike fest with one another. So it shouldn't really come as a shock that a submission match is on its way in that regard. And what should happen here tonight is we should be in for a very technical matchup. A very, what's I'm looking for? A very close matchup, I think would be another way to describe it. And a matchup that will, of course, result in one of these two men leaving with the Cruiserweight Championship around their waist. Drew Gulak in what is only his third match in this universe prepares for this big-time confrontation against Zack Sabre Jr. 1/3 of the British Empire and 1/2 of the members of the British Empire in action here tonight on this hectic night at Heatwave. Let's see how this one is going to square up. There's the title being raised up in the air by Sabre Jr. now. Will it still be around his waist when he leaves this ring in a few minutes? Or will Drew Gulak be the one holding that title high as the new Cruiserweight champion? Let us find out. I was talking about the rebirth of the Cruiserweight division these last few weeks or so. Well, here it is right now with that man there, the challenger, looking to take the title away from the champion. We are underway in this one. Collar and elbow tie-up between the two. Sabre Jr., of course, the very lanky cruiserweight that he is, keeps himself at this lean weight so he can be as flexible as possible as well, while also making it incredibly difficult for his opponents to have an advantage over him in weight, in height, and certainly in technical ability as well, is something that Sabre Jr. will always want to have the advantage in. Got him in an armbar position now, wrenching on it, but Sabre Jr. just too much to handle early on there, and double knees into the arm as well from Zack Sabre Jr., striking fast. Another thing, of course, that Zack Sabre Jr. has become since joining the British Empire is one cocky individual as well, taking the strides from Neville. And I think, you know, I said about Sabre Jr. not really being much of a striker, but he's certainly improved in that regard through Drew McIntyre, who of course also joined the British Empire around the same time as Sabre Jr. as well. Nice little sunset flip counter by Sabre Jr. there in the corner now with a running big boot, drilling Drew Gulak in the face there. But it is of course the limbs that Sabre Jr. loves to tear apart the most. Wrench the arm there, with ease lifts him up. An arm drag will bring him down. Well, not really an arm drag. Nevertheless, Zack Sabre Jr. just going after the arm in the early goings here. Drew Gulak right now. That's not going to be too enjoyable. Half-half suplex. Yes, it is. Drew Gulak just was being obliterated in these early moments, and Sabre Jr. is soaking in the confidence that he has going for him right now. He's gone after the arm. Now he's going after the leg there with that dragon screw. Drew Gulak needs to find a big counter fast or he's in trouble. He is in trouble, but he needs to find a big counter fast because he is in way too much trouble in these early goings thus far. Gulak now, nice quick strike, and now he'll go after the arm as well of Sabre Jr. This is smart. While it may not be too much of a difference in how much the Gulak will hurt, what it absolutely does do is take away Sabre Jr.'s ability to lock in some of his big submission moves, most notably orienteering with Napalm Death. Good counter though by Sabre Jr. Hard forearm in the face, and Sabre Jr. wound up a kick and struck with it. And now it is time to wear down Drew Gulak with some of these submissions. Take a look at that one. Wouldn't surprise me if the back of Gulak's head was touching against the back of his head. Nevertheless, Drew Gulak gets himself out of it, has him up on his shoulders. There's single knee gutbuster. One of the first, I think, big power moves of the matchup thus far. Drew Gulak now. Back suplex. No, back breaker, though. Nicely fought through and nicely connected as well. Good counter there by Zack Sabre Jr., though, and a hard uppercut will bring down Drew Gulak, and I think he might look for that submission again. Indeed he is. Sabre Jr. again with it, and yes, it is the front, I guess you could say, of the toes. There we go, thank you. The toes of Drew Gulak. Touching the back of his head there. Absolutely agonizing. The human body not really supposed to bend that way at all. But both men fighting on right now. Gulak yet to lock in a submission. Never mind, I have just been proven wrong. Tequila Sunrise, I believe this. No, it is not. He's going after the arm here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. What a painful submission hold that one is. Locking in one of the limbs in a hammer lock and then stitching the other one through. Holding the other one through in that armbar there. Zack Sabre Jr. responds though, another half-hatch suplex. Let's see what else he's got in store here. Leg triangle lock applied here now. Holding up on his arms for a higher leverage as well. Higher torque applied. And of course, at the end of that, more torture applied to Drew Gulak as well. But he slips himself out of it. And now Gulak just going to use his power here to help himself out. Snake Eyes. Some great back and forth submissions there, though, between these two men. Nice work by Sabre Jr. Slips himself out of it. So too does Gulak from that one, though. Northern Light suplex now. And Zack Sabre Jr. grips his back temporarily. These two more than living up to their claims of being expert technical wrestlers right now. They have done absolute worlds of pain on the other through only relying on their technical holds. Nicely done there by Sabre Jr. He's going after the leg here now. Oh my, an inverted figure four locked in there. Gorgeous submission from Sabre Jr. I don't like admitting it because the guy has become awfully cocky and of course has incorporated himself with the British Empire, but when he locks in some of these submissions, you wonder how someone doesn't tap out almost instantly from the torture. Snap suplex though from Gulak. Fair play to him for hanging on so long in this one. Gulak now steps on it. Oh, Gulak. Oh, surfboard stretch now for Zack Sabre Jr. All in that back as well. Take a look at the agony that Sabre Jr. finds himself in. Slips out of it, though. Laid on top of him, of course, but no covers in this matchup. Submissions only, and Sabre Jr. back to the dragon screw there. And neither man is letting himself get an advantage over the other. You have got to love this so far. Maybe tough to find a favorite out of these two men, but no doubt about it in my eyes. Are they both putting in an excellent performance right now? German suplex from Sabre Jr. Oh, he's going to do that again. Take a look at this for the third time this matchup now. I think another thing that is great about these submissions that we're looking at is they're not trying to make the other one tap out with them. They're just locking them in. Just wearing down their opponent to such a degree. Gulak, though. Take a look. Oh, Canadian backbreaker now. Applied on Sabre Jr. A powerful submission. The back just, well, the spine curving. Going through torture of being on another man's back as well. Oh, that is one, that is a, I don't even know another word for it aside from just a killer submission maneuver. Slipped his way out of it though, Sabre Jr. Oh my God, the elevation he had on that one. Both men are doing bits and pieces, just doing something incredible to hang in this one right now. Big time back body drop there, and Sabre Jr. now goes into a side headlock here on Drew Gulak. Wrenches on it as well, keeping the challenger locked in it, but only temporarily. Gulak able to transition into his own side headlock. He will try for that gut wrench suplex again, and this time he will get it. This is not, if I was Sabre Jr., this is not what I want to be for this very reason. Turns him over, and he's got the Gulak. He's got the Gulak stitched in. Drew Gulak could be on his way to the Cruiserweight title. Sabre Jr. will not want to tap out here. And take a look at that. The finishing maneuver of Drew Gulak. The finishing maneuver of the challenger. And just Sabre Jr. able to slip his way out of it in a relatively easy fashion. Took away the leg there before putting him up on the top rope. Uncharted waters for Sabre Jr. Not where he wants to be at all. Drew Gulak, though, can use anything to his advantage, it seems. Superplex, no. Sabre Jr. gets himself out of that one. And Sabre Jr. will stay up there and hit a leg drop. Zack Sabre Jr. now looking for it. And I think he's going to get it. Sabre Jr. orienteering with napalm death is applied on Drew Gulak. And Gulak, like many others, may have no choice but to tap out. Sabre Jr. yanking at the limbs, and he does. Gulak taps out. Zack Sabre Jr. lives to be Cruiserweight champion another day. He hangs in there. Does the champion and holds on to that title once again. Second successful title defense for Zack Sabre Jr. And he hasn't, and he's only been champion for about a month. Wow. Akira Tozawa, I believe it was. No, it was not. It was not. Cedric Alexander, my apologies. And now, Drew Gulak. The list keeps on rising for Zack Sabre Jr. Can anyone stop the Cruiserweight champion? Will anyone be able to take this away from the British Empire right now? I am not too sure, but our first title match of the evening, and of course our first successful title defense to go with it, as you see right there. A rough match to sit through in regards to the torture that they put each other through, but I certainly don't think it's going to be the end of a rough matchup. Not here tonight on Heatwave, not with what we've got in store throughout the rest of the evening. Anyway, let's move on to our second title match of the evening. I know we only just had one, but it's time for another tag team matchup. Coming up next, the Switchblade of Anarchy look to become the ECW Tag Team Champions. They've got to take those belts away, though, from D.I.Y. Well, this title matchup has kind of been, if there's one way to describe it, the mutual grounds has been respect for one another. I think is the simplest way of putting it. There has been a lot of mutual respect shining for one another on either side. The Switchblade of Anarchy, as dark as they may be, certainly have been showing a lot of respect as well for D.I.Y. Every match that these guys have had, there has been three. There's been a handshake, at least in some sense. The first match was between Jay White and Tommaso Ciampa. I think there was a handshake before the match started. Between Sami Callihan and Johnny Gargano, there was a handshake after the match. And between Jay White and Johnny Gargano this past ECW, there was another handshake after the match. A lot of respect has been shining through by these two teams. But here tonight, that respect temporarily will go out of the window as the Switchblade of Anarchy look to become the ECW Tag Team Champions. They were named the #1 contenders, and I will say it by default. With what was going on between MKULTRA and the Wyatt family, in my eyes, there was no other choice for a suitable tag team to try and take the belts, aside from the Switchblade of Anarchy. So that's just one I have to go with here. Maybe after what we saw earlier tonight, maybe the winner of this one will get their hands on the Wyatt family heading towards SummerSlam, if not at the event itself. Of course, I don't really know how the matches are going to work out right now. We don't really know anything. We're still a month away from SummerSlam anyway, so we'll see about that. Anyway, Sami Callihan and the Switchblade Jay White ready for this one. But so too, of course, will be their opponents, the ECW Tag Team Champions, looking to overcome them, looking to hold on to those belts, heading out of tonight here at Heatwave. D.I.Y. looking to keep those belts wrapped around their waists. You know, they've been kind of unfortunate champions so far. It feels as if they never get a moment's rest. They're always being thrown into the deep end, essentially, and I think that is what has made it kind of tough to really cement these guys as ECW Tag Team Champions. They haven't had that big title matchup yet where they have overcome the odds, retained the titles, and shown everyone they deserve to hold those titles without a shadow of a doubt. But that could be it here tonight against the tough challenge that is the Switchblade of Anarchy. It is important to remember as well, all things considered, that D.I.Y. Doesn't really hold an advantage. In fact, they kind of hold a disadvantage over the Switchblade of Anarchy in terms of the action they've had against each other. Ciampa lost to Jay White, and while Gargano did beat Callihan, he lost to Jay White this past episode of ECW. However, of course, an advantage that without a doubt the D.I.Y. do have over the Switchblade of Anarchy is experience on their side, and on top of that, the titles themselves. Those ECW Tag Team titles, they're hoping to keep around their waists. They retained them at Living Dangerously on a technicality, a disqualification victory. After the involvement of MKULTRA with the Wyatt family, they are hoping that that won't be the case here tonight, that they will retain the titles by their own ability within them. I kind of hope they do, but I'm also not completely against the Switchblade of Anarchy victory here with that duo as the new ECW Tag Team Champions. Though we will find out how it will go in just a few moments. Champions getting a good eye on their challenges, and you see they're not usually, you know, they were enthusiastic in their entrance as per usual, but they're in the ring now, and it's business for D.I.Y., and that is what they need to take care of right here, right now. Let us get underway with this one between these two. I think it's going to be tough to keep either team down for a 3 count or a tap out, so let's see how this one will go. It's going to be Tommaso Ciampa and Sami Callihan starting things off. No handshake this time. Let's get right into things. Up on the shoulders right away there. Death Valley driver by Sami Callihan. The Callahan Death Machine rolling on early on here at Heatwave. Let's see what will happen here now. Tommaso Ciampa with a quick counter. And just raining in with some quick strikes. If you get into a striking contest with Callahan, you're either mad or you have lost. And more often than not, you can be both. Sami Callihan with a very early advantage in this matchup over Tommaso Ciampa. Thus far, looks to fly with a double axe handle, misses it, and an STO there from Ciampa will turn the tides back around in favours of the champions. Of course, it is very early on in this matchup, so it's pointless talking about who has an advantage and how that can shape the matchup, but of course it is always good to get an early head start. Though that being said, you know, it's not going to dictate the pace of this matchup, I don't think. Certainly not against a team like D.I.Y as well. Look at how many times they've had to overcome the odds. Look back to WrestleMania when they had to overcome the Authors of Pain to win the titles. And the Authors of Pain have kind of struggled to make an impact since then. Oh god, this is going to be dangerous. Back suplex on the apron. Oh, Sami Callihan, always with that dangerous offense from the moment the bell rings to the moment this match will end. Sami Callihan off the deep end a lot of times, has to be said. Kind of been even Stevens so far, which is I'd expect to see in a way. Big time clothesline there. Sami Callihan bringing down Tommaso Ciampa in the corner of the champions, no less. And now he's going to send him way away into his own home corner there. Probably going to make the tag in. Yes, he is. Jay White wanted in. Here we go now. Irish whip and oh! Big time lariat there. Johnny Gargano wants the tag in here and he's going to get it. Chance of vengeance for his defeat this past episode of ECW. Johnny wrestling in now. Running neck breaker, and Gargano brings down Jay White. Scurries up to the top rope. Double foot stomp into the challenger as well. Gargano unleashing early on there with a myriad of offense. Oh, but a quick counter there by Jay White will slow things down. Took a little bit too long, and now the Switchblade can go as he may please. Neck breaker there. Jay White now the one in control that is turned back towards the Switchblade of Anarchy. And now I will safely say is where control in the matchup does start to matter a little bit. You know, we're out to that early phase now. All four men have been in the matchup, and this is where, you know, you really don't want to be on the receiving end, certainly for a long time when it comes to the offense. Jay White going out to the apron here. Might want to hurry up because Tommaso Ciampa got close there, but nice show of respect there by Ciampa to not go after him. Drop kick in the back though, and now Jay White wrenching on that arm of Johnny Gargano. As we have seen, to be fair, in, I think all of Jay White's matches since his debut in this universe. Look for something there. Good counter by Johnny Gargano. And it seems as if he may think about making the tag out here in the corner. Tag made now. Setting Jay White up. Double super kick from the tag team champions. And there we go. Jay White gets the tag into Sami Callihan now. The Callihan Death Machine looking to roll on, but shut down with an almighty lariat there from Tommaso Ciampa. Here goes the Psycho Killer now, or not. Shut down again there. Sami Callihan missed that running big boot, I think, or just grazed. I don't think he didn't seem to have much oomph in it. That may be the reason why. Tag made now. Johnny Gargano back in this one. Drop toe hold. Double stomp in the back. And a running knee as well. That's the D.I.Y combination. That's a D.I.Y combination rather than those just complete flurry of strikes just non-stop. Not a moment to rest against these guys, and that's what we're seeing right now. Gargano there, spinning, kick in the gut. Flips over with a sliced bread into a rolling cutter. Gorgeous move there by Johnny Gargano, and he thinks it's done enough to retain the tag team titles. I think that's the first cover of the matchup as well. Will it do it? No. Kick out of two there. Sami Callihan, though, quick to respond there. Probably not your best idea to taunt right in front of Johnny Gargano. He doesn't take too kindly to it either. Gargano responding. Forearms and chops as Callihan up against the ropes now. Irish whip, ducks under, and Hurricanrana, down goes Sami Callihan again. It's not looking that good right now for the challenger. Have to say, he's going to have to think up something quick. Oh, and there it is. That's something quick. Did indeed just get thrown up with that bicycle kick. Sami Callihan here trying to make his Trying to make his way back to the corner there, but just denied in a very strong fashion as well, has to be said, from Johnny Gargano, but countered there. Back into the turnbuckle now. Chop lighting up the chest there. Sami Callihan. Give him the chance to make something big happen. Tree of woe here in the boot, grazing in the face of Johnny Wrestling. Not a comfortable place to be in at all. Callihan dragged him across there and makes the tag into the Switchblade now. Jay White back in this one. Jay White going to go up to that second rope there, looking for an elbow drop, and he didn't get it. No one home either to give him that opportunity. Good counter there from Gargano, slams him down as well. Johnny Wrestling, a little bit worn, I think, in this one right now. Might be feeling the fatigue, maybe, of this matchup. The fatigue of being in the ring for an extended period of time. And Jay White just with chops and strikes there, just bringing him all the way back to his own corner, but Gargano will not walk into it. Big time neck breaker there. And he'll make the tag into Tommaso Ciampa now. The Psycho Killer and the Switchblade back at each other. And Sami Callihan eager to get back in this one, but Jay White wants to hang in there a little longer. Switchblade thinks he can stay in this one. Snap suplex there. May well instigate that that is the case. Oh no, Jay White going to go to his work on the arm that I talked about earlier. Honing in on it now and just tearing it apart here. Oh, the way he had that wrist locked in there kind of just showed Jay White's desire to cause pain there. Big time knee in the face of Ciampa as well. Very evenly split tag team matchup thus far. I have to say, I haven't seen anything that would dictate the match going either way right now, but it has been a strong showing from the Switchblade thus far in this matchup. I will absolutely say that that is the case. Jay White will not go into the turnbuckle. Great, thanks, game. Uh-oh, Northern Lights suplex from Jay White. I think that's the third time maybe in this matchup he's connected with that move. Let's see now, Jay White just slowing the pace down a little bit here. Might look for a big time maneuver there, but Tommaso Ciampa did his best to counter him, and indeed, he got it out as well. Both men able to counter one another. DDT there from Jay White rather, and a very nice DDT at that. And Jay White now with a flurry of strikes, and Ciampa going down there. The Psycho Killer trying to drag himself back up to his feet, but to no luck there. Tag made. Callihan back in now. What's interesting about the Switchblade of Anarchy right now is every tag they're making, if you look, they're making it when the champions are down on the mat right now. At least the last two tags have been the case. Callihan open for something big there. Good counter from Tommaso Ciampa, who comes flying in with a lariat as well. Ciampa now pulls himself up to the second rope. He misses with the elbow drop as well. Callihan able to avoid it. It doesn't look like Callihan had it in mind there to capitalize. He was waiting for Ciampa to get up to his feet, and he paid for it there. Another counter though. Back over the top rope. Oh, stuffed by Ciampa there. And Ciampa will pull himself up to the top rope now. Gonna fly. Crossbody from Tommaso Ciampa. Risking it all there is the Psycho Killer. Oh my goodness, and he may be risking hanging in this one. D.I.Y, the combination to finish this one. It won them the tag team titles. They go into the cover here. Jay White right there to make the save though. Gargano goes back into the cover here. Referee slowing to count, and I think that may have given Callihan a chance there to kick out. Great work by Ciampa, I gotta say it. His ability to just be there, right place, right time, make the save. And here we go now, full Nelson face buster from Gargano. There may be nowhere for Callihan to turn. There may be no Switchblade to the rescue. Tag made again. The roles reversed, but the impact the same. Super kick and a knee in the back of the head. Ciampa covers Callihan. Jay White, I don't think it's going to get in the ring in time. And D.I.Y retain the tag team titles as a result of it. Oh, fair play to them. Fair play to them indeed there for that. Hanging in there. And able to really shut down the Switchblade of Anarchy and take the pace of the match the way they wanted it to go. D.I.Y remain the tag team champions. I said they needed that big win to assert themselves as champions. Well, there that win is. No doubt about it in my eyes. That was a win that D.I.Y can be proud of. And I think that is a win as well that has cemented them as tag team champions for certain. Now though, where do they go from this? I don't actually know. I will say I don't know what the future holds for D.I.Y, but what I will say in that matchup, and this is not talking ill of anyone in the matchup, Jay White was doing a very strong job of maintaining control for a lot of that match, but D.I.Y, that underdog nature from them, just too much to keep them down. Let's move on though to our next contest of the evening. It is the last non-title matchup, and oh boy, is it a personal one at that. Coming up next, Roderick Strong and Neville are going to square off one-on-one. Disqualifications are in effect, so too are countouts, but ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an absolute brawl. It is British Empire versus Four Horsemen. That is how this all came about, but it has become more personal than that now. It is a matter of family. Who will win it, though? We'll find out up next. Before that, let's take you on a throwback to see how this all came to be. Horse count anyway. Chris Jericho and Neville. Oh, no, no, no. Neville, Neville, no. I know what he has in mind. Neville, no. Oh, good God! We're going to need some help out there for Chris Jericho. We have this Neville's Open Challenge. Roderick Strong, member of the Four Horsemen, no less. Roddy Strong with a stern warning to him. Don't run the mouth about the Horsemen now. Don't run the mouth about family. Roderick Strong wants to hope he can wire the jaw of Neville shut just like he did to Chris Jericho. He made another threat. What is Roderick Strong going to do about it? That is what he'll do about it! End of Heartache by Roderick Strong! Is that a precursor to Heatwave, maybe? We will see. Yeah, there he is! There's Neville! Roderick Strong down, but he won't stay down. He'll be back up on his feet this Sunday.
Long live the king!
Well, this is it. This is what is going to happen now. There is no more talking about this. There is no more acting like we know what will transpire. There is no more guessing. It is just time for Neville versus Roderick Strong. One-on-one here tonight. Boy, you think about everything that has been leading up to this over these last few weeks. You think about how just it has been for Roderick Strong to get revenge here tonight. That's the big question. The biggest question of them all. Will he? Will he get that revenge that he seeks so desperately? Or will it just go the other way? Will Neville knock off another member of the Four Horsemen? Could he go about taking care of Roderick Strong the same way he did Chris Jericho, as you saw in the build-up to this match? What will both these men do in this matchup? I don't know, you know. That's what makes it, I guess, so interesting, but so weird and threatening in many ways as well. I truly have no idea what to expect in this one, aside from the fact that these two guys are going to tear each other apart. I can talk about it as much as I want, but the simple fact is, talking is not as good as getting down to business, and that's exactly what is going to happen. Oh boy. He was loading up for this one. Is Neville in the ring right now? And Roddy Strong could hardly wait. He charges right at him. Roddy Strong couldn't even wait for his entrance. He charges at Neville, flurrying away with a series of strikes here. I talked about this being personal. I talked about this being more about than this, about being about family, about everything that these two men hold so dear to one another, and it has broken out right away here. Neville only just made his way out to the ring there. Couldn't be, you know, just couldn't guarantee his safety, essentially, before Roddy Strong came charging at him. Lariat to the outside. Goes Neville. Look at Roddy Strong here in the early goings. Roderick Strong, oh no, 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 no. Flies to the outside. Comes down with an elbow on Neville. Oh, Neville flipped his way out of that one, though. Nicely done. And this one's going to kill Roderick Strong now. Regal Plex on the outside. And you see the way he almost came down on his neck there. I'm not even surprised that they've started at 100 miles an hour, because that is what this hatred has been for one another. It has been this kind of attitude to it from the very beginning. There wasn't a doubt in my eyes that they wouldn't start this quickly. These two men despise one another, and they're showing it here tonight. Rolling in the ring now is Neville. And trying to get an early start here against Roderick Strong now. Up on the top rope goes the former Cruiserweight champion. Inverted 450 there from Neville. Oh, good God. These two men just... their desire to end the other here is just shining through in the most obvious way possible. Roderick Strong now locked. His arm is locked in here by Neville, but he's able to slip his way out of it as well. Has him up against the ropes now. What are we going to see here? Uses them to his advantage and hits a backbreaker. Neville goes down there, and the strikes keep on raining in here. Chops and forearms and a lariat in the back of the head, though, by Neville. Turns things around again. This is just that ultimate kind of no caring about trying to break the other one down. No caring about, you know, trying to lull someone into a false sense of security. It is just beating the other one up until they can't stand any longer. And that is what all these two men, that is what they all care about anymore. Double under suplex there. Roddy into a cover now. An early kick out from Neville, but that leaves him susceptible to that. A kick in the back from Roderick Strong. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he wanted from the end of this all. Running knee in the corner there. But Neville counters with a hip toss. Just no one has any kind of advantage right now. They're just throwing moves at one another. The hatred that is shining through in this one. Absolutely incredible. Up on the top rope now. Neville. Thinking big move. Thinking something dangerous. Of course he is. Oh my goodness. What are we going to see here? Neville superplex certainly. And he nails it on Roddy Strong. Both men hitting the mat hard there. And now take a look at this. Neville just slowing the pace down a little bit and just getting cocky right now with Roderick Strong. Perhaps not his smartest idea though. Roddy fighting right back in this one. Tiger Bomb. Got him. And Roddy with such speed will pull himself to that top rope. Elbow drops down on Neville. Covering him here. I'm surprised he's not going to try and end it. But he lifts Neville up there. Neville lifeless in many senses. Oh my God, those forearms from Roddy. And a clothesline as well. Brings them down. And now Roderick Strong returns the favor. Come on, Neville. What have you got? This is insane so far in this one. How they have already thrown this much at each other, and how much more do they have to go really has to be asked. Transitions it here and throws him there on the ropes. His throat going to be crushed. Roddy Strong just feeling all kinds of momentum flowing through him right now. All kinds of hatred. The blood has to be boiling at the sight of Neville. Neville though with a counter. Snap mirrors him down, and I think Neville's made a mistake here. I think Neville's realized trying to go all out against Roderick Strong could have been a huge mistake, because now Roddy has actually been going all out, and he's been going all out better than Neville as well. Hefty punch in the ribs there. Turns him round. Roddy Strong, backbreaker to Neville. But it's Neville who pulls out the counter here in this insane match so far between these two men. Step up enziguri, and down goes Roderick Strong. Cover here by Neville, and that is what Roderick Strong thinks about it. He kicks out at nothing. And sends Neville face first into the mat as well. Oh my, oh, this is gonna hurt. Torture rack. Backbreaker. We saw a bit of this Roddy Strong against Murphy this past episode of ECW, but this has just been extended. This has gone even further. Oh my goodness. Running knee. Pelted him in the face. Counter there by Neville now. Sends Roderick Strong into the turnbuckle. Uh-oh. Now with every move that I'm watching, I'm just wondering, what are they going to do next? Neville, I think, is going to look for another superplex here. He punches Roderick Strong in the face again, just because that's what he wants to do, in all fairness. He has them up in position for it, and Neville will get that second superplex. And you could see the ring bounce from the impact of it. The leader of the British Empire right now might be on his way to closing out business here with Roderick Strong, maybe, but Roddy won't stay down. Neither, though, will Neville. Back suplex, yet he got him with it. There was no fight back right there from Roderick Strong, and there might not be right now. Neville goes up to the top rope. Red arrow from Neville. Covers Roddy Strong. There's two, and a kick out from Roddy Strong. Keeps this one alive. Neville hasn't finished the business yet. And Roderick Strong will not stay down either. Neville thinking moonsault. Roddy evaded it. And here come those forearms again now from Roderick Strong. The back elbow. The lariat. This is for Chris Jericho. This is for the Four Horsemen. This is for everyone that Neville has done wrong. Back suplex into the face buster. Roderick Strong begging Neville to get up to his feet. This should be it. This will be it. This is the end of Heartache. Roderick Strong is going to beat Neville. Vengeance has been executed. 1, 2, kick out from Neville. I can't believe it. Roddy can't believe it. And there might even be a part within Neville that can't believe it. Somehow he's fighting back right away. Powerbomb now. Covers Roddy and only gets a 1 count. This is what an absolutely insane matchup this has been. For the third time this bout, Neville goes up to the top rope, and this time he calls Roddy to his feet. Oh, drop kick there, and Roderick Strong had no response except for hitting the mat hard. Up on his shoulders now. This is not where he wants to be at all, especially when he's getting shoved face first into the turnbuckle. Neville now over the ropes there with a guillotine leg drop down on Roderick Strong. These guys have gone 100 miles an hour, and they have not let off that pedal either. They are keeping it pushed into the mat as far as it will go, pushing it as far down as it may go. They are hitting a rev limiter here. But it's all about which one's engine will blow. It's not even which one's engine will blow out. Which one will crash into the other until they can't move. This is much less a drag race right now and more demolition derby between these two men. Up on the shoulders again. Roderick Strong has him. Buckle bomb to Neville. Oh, but Neville there just too quick, too wise almost for Roderick Strong. He counters him again. And a snap suplex connects. Flips over. Covers him here. Trying to end it. And another kick out from Roderick Strong before the count of 2. Will keep this one well and truly alive. But for how much longer can either man go on in this one? Back suplex there from Neville. And Roderick Strong rolls out of the ring. He will join him. Will Neville. But I think that is what he wanted. I think that is what Roderick Strong wanted anyway. But Roderick Strong's back caving in on him there. Neville, I think, has done too much damage to the back, and he continues it there with that Northern Lights suplex. Roderick Strong just showed a sign of weakness. And no doubt about it, Neville is going to capitalize. Elbows now into the face of Roddy. Going to the outside could have been Roderick Strong's huge mistake. Now he's able to throw them back in the ring there, but how much energy does he have left in him? He's trying to pull himself up to the top rope here, but Neville's already beating him there. High knee in the face there by Neville. And a Hurricanrana as well. Good God. He throws Roderick Strong into the turnbuckle again. Not another superplex. Surely not. Surely Neville just doesn't have it in him at this point. Roddy Strong tries to stuff it. One for all. What a Blockbuster there by Roderick Strong into the cover. Will this end it? No! And Roderick Strong starting to question now, what will end this? Who will end this as well? Up against the ropes now goes Neville. Roderick Strong ducks under there. Oh, but he's too slow to act, and they collided face to face with each other. Neville with another counter. Hurricanrana, and he pins him again. Will this end it? No, Roderick Strong just will not quit. Avoids the attempted stomp there. And Neville, though, gets that back suplex in. Oh no, oh no, and Neville may be looking for more than the back suplex. No, the Rings of Saturn is applied in the middle of the ring. Roderick Strong has flat out nowhere to go. He can't get himself out of this one unless he fights out of it. And Roddy can't. Roddy can't fight out of it. Neville beat Roderick Strong. Oh. He did it. Neville did it. Neville beats Roderick Strong at the end of this all of this hatred, all of this bloodlust, and it ends with the leader of the British Empire with another victory under his belt. That's sour. That is bittersweet in every sense of the word. That is, to put it bluntly as well, that is not what I wanted to see at the end of this event. Neville beats Roderick Strong. He stands tall over the Four Horsemen. He took care of Chris Jericho, and this was just about ending business, and he did. He's a man of his word, it seems. Neville not only kept to it, but he made Roderick Strong submit as well. That was it. Just mind-blowing between those two, though. What you'd expect to see almost as a flurry as the final 5 minutes of the match just went on and on and on from the very start of the matchup. I gotta give it to both men, but Neville walks out of this one the winner. We gotta move on, though. It is our penultimate match of the evening. It is for the ECW Television Championship. Kenny Omega and Tetsuya Naito one-on-one here tonight. Omega wants that TV title around his waist. Tetsuya Naito wants to be still the ECW Television Champion at the end of this all as well. Who will hold that belt, though, by the end of the evening? We will find out. It is mind games in many ways, but both men are willing to play them. It is the King of Wrestling against El Ingobernable. We will see what will work better. The flashy, striking substance of Kenny Omega or the tranquilo attitude of Tetsuya Naito. It is all going to be decided in the ring for the TV title up next. Alright, let's do this one. Let's see who's walking out with the television championship. There's no real need to describe what has been leading up to this matchup because in many senses there isn't a need for one. It is just two men who don't like each other. Really, I mean, Naito doesn't like anyone, so, you know, he's kind of got that going for him. But it is two men who don't like each other. It is two men who have played mind games with one another, and it is just two men who want to be the champion at the end of this all. Here comes the two-time King of the Ring winner, the King of Wrestling as he calls himself, Kenny Omega, heading towards the ring here for this one. Well, Omega looks prepared and ready to become the ECW Television Champion here tonight. That Heatwave win his first belt on ECW since arriving in the draft. He's got to do it against the man who won the title back at WrestleMania. No title has changed hands here tonight. Been two successful title defenses so far, but that is not going to let Kenny Omega, you know, that's not going to change Kenny Omega's opinion on the fact that he will win here tonight. And it won't change either man's opinions, in fairness. If they both think they're going to win, they are both going to look to win. No doubt about it. As Omega prepares in the ring, here comes the champion, and it's back to that suit of Tetsuya Naito. The look from WrestleMania, and I think the look from Living Dangerously as well. Naito prepares for what, if he wins here tonight, will be his third title defense, I believe, since winning that belt. His third successful title defense, no doubt about it. He has overcome Aleister Black in a rematch, and he has overcome Drew McIntyre. And now he walks into this one against Kenny Omega. Will Tetsuya Naito walk out with that belt still on his arm? I was going to say around his waist, but Naito really doesn't give a shit about it in that regard. Naito prepares for this one, though, as much as he can. Naito prepares for this one with the mind games. He prepares for this one by trying to get under Omega's skin, and we saw it a week and a half ago in ECW. Omega with the stare down with Naito. Came into the ring following Naito's victory over Sami Zayn. Stared him down. Naito just walked away. Just batted his shoulder and just walked off. Didn't care. Naito was not willing to stare down Kenny Omega there. If they were going to stare down, it would be right now in the ring at the event that is Heatwave, when it matters the most. These two men are prepared for this one. They are ready and raring to go. No doubt about it. Kenny Omega. That glare onto Tetsuya Naito, and Naito just careless. Just really doesn't care. There's not a part within Naito really that gives a damn right now. He just wants to just wants to win. That's all he wants. That's all Tetsuya Naito cares for, is victory. And Naito's feeling pretty damn good about that happening here tonight, but so too, of course, is Kenny Omega. Only one of them, though, is going to get it. Only one of them is going to get that big win. And I don't know. I will say I don't know which one it will be to get that big win. It is a case where either man can win it. It's just all about which one it will be. The referee raises the title up in the air. That is what it is for. Naito, as I said, has been champion since WrestleMania. Will he hold it a day longer, though? We'll find out. Here we go, and Kenny Omega immediately getting out of the ring here. Just rolling around the outside right now, just messing around with Naito here a little bit. Just trying to see how Naito's taking this one, and it seems to be pretty serious as well with the way that Naito was chasing after him almost immediately there. Usually I think Naito would have just stayed in the ring and not cared, but that wasn't the case here. So here we go now between these two men. Naito quickly used the ropes there. Omega responding with a knee in the face. And this one definitely underway now. Collar elbow tie-up, and Naito to be the one there to overpower Kenny Omega. Backing him up all the way to the ropes. And they'll break of their own virtue, it seems. Referee not really choosing to get involved maybe this much in this matchup. Look at this from Naito. Jesus Christ. Tilt-a-whirl DDT. Spiking Omega on his head this early on in the matchup, no less, from Tetsuya Naito. Another collar and elbow tie-up, and again, Naito will back Omega into the corner. And this time the referee trying to split these two up. And oh, there's a cheap shot from Naito. And Omega will respond. Oh, well, Omega tried to respond and he couldn't. Naito just too quick for him there. Now he will with a V-trigger from Kenny Omega. Big time V-trigger there could have quickly turned the pace in this matchup there. Well, not the pace, but definitely the pendulum. If Naito is dictating, then it will say at one pace, and that is slow, and that is tranquilo. Let's see what will happen here. In the corner now goes Tetsuya Naito, and Kenny Omega flying himself at him there. Running, oh, basement dropkick in the corner as well. Early cover from Kenny Omega now. Will this be enough to make him the television champion? Definitely not, let's be real. Went for what looked like a good loaded up shot there from Kenny Omega. Didn't get it though. Hammerlock back suplex. Omega escapes it and drop kicks the leg away from Tetsuya Naito there. Good stuff so far from both men. Suplex driver from Omega. And he will once again go into a cover that Naito will kick out of immediately. I think I know what Omega's plan is there, and I think it's something that we might see in the next match as well. It's that idea of just wearing out your opponent through little things. That's how you're going to wear out Naito as well. Take a look at this now. German suplex from Naito. Omega was getting tangled up in the ropes there from the impact. Neck breaker attempt, and Naito will secure with it as well. The television champion doing good so far. Trying to keep that belt around his waist. Counter there from Omega. Sling blade from Omega as well. Maybe a little ode to the ECW champion. Man, of course, Omega couldn't beat the living dangerously. Frog splash. Maybe not Omega. Maybe not Rollins. Definitely a Hiroshi Tanahashi, though. An old rival of Naito. A man who Naito grew to despise as he grew into this tranquilo character. And that is going to be something that's not going to sit well within Naito, as you see from the rake of the eyes. These two men squared off on ECW. They had their showdown with each other, shall we say, their physical altercation, and it was in some ways even split. In other ways, Naito kind of had the advantage, but Omega was, of course, the one to pick up the eventual victory with Kyle O'Reilly in that tag team matchup. Naito, though, didn't really care, so what does matter, though, is this matchup here tonight. Lovely neck breaker there from Naito. Thinking something there, but Omega able to counter it. Neither man able to have an advantage over the other right now. Forearm in the face there. Naito up against the ropes here. Could be in danger. Oh, hit it hard there. Hit the mat hard, and Omega finds himself loading up, and I know what he's looking for. Kenny Omega, rise of the Terminator. Look at the way he clears the ropes and comes flying down on Tetsuya Naito. Kenny Omega, big time move there. And the challenger feeling pretty good about that one. May well have taken a good amount of control in the matchup as well with it. Unloading on Naito now as he's perched up against the barricades. If that's what it's got to take to be ECW Television Champion, you know for a fact that Kenny Omega is going to be willing to risk it as well. Count up to 4 now in this one. Naito will send Omega into the ring steps there. And look at that from Naito there. It's a quick call to all the Los Ingobernables fans. And of course, where Naito cut his teeth as well, and this Tranquilo character was really born. Count up to 7 there. Naito just looking at Omega now as he slowly recovers on the outside. Omega back into the count of 8 and not giving Naito a moment to himself there. Oh, but Naito may well have more moments with the TV title. Destino! Naito, cover. Omega's arm is in the ropes. Smart call by the referee there, and the right call as well, I will say that. Naito going to go up to the top rope here. We haven't seen this in ages from Naito. Looking for the Stardust press, and he got it. Naito hit it, but he doesn't seem to be content with it. That's an old part of Naito. That is something within Naito that he doesn't care for anymore, that he doesn't appreciate, that he doesn't want with him. Slapping Omega in the face now. Tranquilo kind of starting to fall apart for Naito right now. Hurricanrana there from Omega. He covers him. Will this make him the champion? No. Oh, what a step up in Zagiri there. More or less a step up knee from Kenny Omega. Naito having to use the ropes to pull himself up there. Omega's all over him right now. Lariat there. Good stuff so far. And Kenny Omega super kick there to Naito. Goes into the cover, hoping it's enough to seal his fate. And Naito is not going to stay down for him. Naito is going to make him fight to be the champion. No doubt about it. Good counter there from Naito. Has him up against the ropes here, and a simple strike will send Omega to the ground there. Naito going to follow right up here. Super competitive matchup right now between these two guys. And as this one continues to fall, to break apart essentially on the outside. Kenny Omega now showing that he is going to do everything it takes to be champion. Oh no, down on the barricade! Oh, that is steel against back. Steel does not bend, it does not forgive either. It has no sense of feeling, but Tetsuya Naito's back certainly does. Oh, good God. Kenny Omega, though, knows he's got to do everything to be champion, and he's showing it right now. Kreuzrath. Cover from Omega to be champion. No, says Naito. Omega down on one knee now. He has exerted a lot of energy here to be the champion. And Naito still staying in this one. Bats the slap away. Naito still going. Kicks in the gut there. Drop kick to the leg. Now Omega's the one up against the ropes. What's Naito going to do now? The hell am I looking at? Tetsuya, Naito, no. Naito! Oh my god! An apron pile driver from Tetsuya Naito. Oh my goodness. Naito could have killed Kenny Omega with that one. And Omega's just being dragged around now. Naito. I think Naito's ended it. I think Naito's ended Omega's chance of being champion as well, and maybe even of fighting for these next few weeks. But Naito wants to end this one with a conclusive victory, it seems. Oh, he's going to swing down those legs out again, and he's going out with that neck breaker. I think Kenny Omega's neck has suffered more than enough damage, Naito. And Naito going to look for that DDT. You're on Omega, and he nails him with it. Is this where we see the end of Kenny Omega's fight? Is this where Naito retains that title? Looking for the neck breaker, and he'll get it. Naito just tearing apart Kenny Omega's neck right now. And for this very reason, no rope break this time. Naito Destino connects. Cover to end Omega. 1, 2. Kenny Omega kicks out at 2. And at the very hair of 2, no less. Naito now continuing control over Kenny Omega, it seems. Throwing him into the turnbuckle here. What does Naito have in store for Omega now as he looks desperate to try and close this one out? Tetsuya Naito looking for a big strike here. Hurricanrana to Omega from the top rope. Naito exhausted though. Trying to follow up right after Destino has tied it out. Naito and Omega won't stay down either. Forearm from Omega. But another counter from Naito there. Naito hoping. Counter though from Omega. V-trigger. Countered. Naito. Reverse Hurricanrana. Oh my god. What a flurry of counters. Back and forth, and Omega kicks out right away there. How do you keep someone down who won't stay down? No one really knows the answer, but Kenny Omega might keep Naito down quickly. Cross-legged brainbuster. And Kenny Omega's going to look to end this one. Does he have it in him? Does Kenny Omega still have it in him to carry on? Naito getting up to his feet. Omega! V-trigger! Covers Naito. 1, 2. No! Naito kicked out at 2. Oh, goodness. Omega exhausted. Omega hoped that that would end it, but it most certainly didn't. And Naito still hanging in there. Both men hanging in there in all fairness, but only just, it feels like. Who gives in is the real question right now. Who can stay in this for the longest? Crossbody from Omega. Will this make him champion? No. Naito's still able to kick out there, but he is almost out on his feet. And Omega looking to finish with a big flurry. Kreuzrath from Omega. But it's not how he wants to end it. I think he knew it wasn't how he was going to end it either. In the middle of the ring now. Naito could be done for. Omega has him up. Kenny Omega. 1 winged angel. 1, 2. No! Naito kicked out of that as well. Omega's flustered. Kenny Omega can't believe it, and neither can I, and neither can the crowd in attendance at Heatwave. If the V-trigger didn't end it, well, that should have. The one-winged angel should have, and it didn't. Naito won't stay down. And I do not know where Naito's finding this fight in him. Tornado DDT now. Tetsuya Naito still staying alive. Omega sent into the turnbuckle again. Could Naito maybe look for that big time Hurricanrana? Does he have the energy in him to go for it? If he did, Omega stuffed it and hit a big time drop kick on the way down. Omega trying, but Naito just too much right now. Jesus, German suplex there. Omega lucky to be in the ropes maybe. Naito going to go to the second rope here. Looking for something. Looks for the elbow drop, but can't connect with it. I'm getting tired just watching these guys. I don't know how they're managing to stay in it. Reverse leg drop from Kenny Omega. And all of a sudden, Naito's ability to stay in this one looks to be fading fast. Naito as well looks to be fading with it. And so do his hopes of being champion. They could be seconds away from over. One winged angel. 1, 2. Oh my God, you are kidding me. You are kidding me. Naito, how? 2 one-winged angels and a V-trigger, and Naito still won't stay down. Shrugging or just... I was about to say Naito shrugging them off, but he really isn't, because he's feeling the impact of each and every single one of them, and what an impact they are leaving on him as well. Naito turns him round. He'll pull him up to that top rope. Naito's almost desperate to try for this Hurricanrana. He's going to go for it right now. Naito hits it. But can he follow up here? Oh my, how? How is he still in that state of mind after everything he's had delivered to him? Tetsuya Naito will look for it here. Will Naito get it though? Naito thinking Destino, but Omega slipped his way out of it. I don't know how, but Omega moved out of the way. He avoids a second Destino, a third Destino even. Cross-legged brainbuster, and Omega is desperate to be champion. Is third time the charm, up on the shoulders. 1 winged angel. 2, 3. Kenny Omega is the ECW Television Champion. Oh my goodness. What a fight. What a match. And there is the end of it all. Kenny Omega, the new ECW Television Champion. A month ago at Living Dangerously, it was heartbreak when he couldn't beat Seth Rollins. Now tonight, it is rejoice for Kenny Omega, the new ECW Television Champion. But let us not ignore what kind of fight that one was from Tetsuya Naito. His refusal, his downright refusal to give in. As tranquilo as he may call himself to be, that was anything but in those final moments. Naito's desperation shone through. He gave it his all, but Omega was just too much. And the King of Wrestling now has gold back around his waist. What a match that one was, but it may well be topped by the next one. Your main event of the evening, 30-minute Iron Man match for the ECW Championship is on its way. This is for all the marbles. This is for that title. Both of these guys will do anything to be the champion. Rollins is so close to 1 year that he can almost taste it. But Kyle O'Reilly wants to play spoiler. O'Reilly thinks he can beat Rollins. He just needs time. Well, he's got all the time in the world. He's got half an hour to beat him. Can he do it? If you know me by now, you know where I stand on this one. We're ready, though, nevertheless, for a hellacious main event here at Heatwave. But before we get into it, before we strap ourselves in for 30 minutes, let us see how this one came about. Kyle O'Reilly and Seth Rollins one-on-one. Rollins retains again. 2 out of 3 falls match. The winner becomes the #1 contender for the ECW Championship. Neville taps out. At Heatwave, it's on again. Kyle O'Reilly versus Seth Rollins, round 2. Seth Rollins has been challenged to a 30-minute Iron Man match. Kyle O'Reilly, you are on 30 minutes at Heatwave, Iron Man match. But get it through your head, O'Reilly. Seth Rollins is the best. So here we go. Let us not wait a moment longer. Let us commence with our main event of the evening. Half an hour Iron Man match. These two men will subject themselves to 30 minutes of nothing but squaring off one-on-one with the other. Rules of an Iron Man match. Well, you know the time limit is 30 minutes. Within that 30 minutes, you've got to try and get as many falls as possible. You can get those falls by pinfall, submission, countdown, disqualification. Whoever has the most falls by the end of those 30 minutes will be the ECW champion by the end of the evening. We've already seen why both men want to be champion. We've already seen how both men are looking to beat the other. Kyle O'Reilly thinks he can do it. He needs time. Seth Rollins has already done it. He just needs to cement his legacy here tonight over Kyle O'Reilly and end this thing and head out of Heatwave, still the ECW champion. This could be a very interesting evening. Of course, well, this is gonna be something else, but let's be honest. You already know where I stand. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a psychologist. You don't need to see in my head to know where I'm going on this one. That man will still be the ECW champion by the end of the evening, not because I say so, because I know so. I feel, I have said this so many times, and I will never tire myself of saying it either. Seth Rollins is the greatest of all time. There has never been a better champion, a better face of a company, a better man to look up to, a better role model, a better athlete, a better technician, a better brawler, a better striker, a better high-flying aerialist, a better wrestler than Seth Rollins. There will never be one either. We are living in the greatest moment we could possibly ask for. The era of Seth Rollins. The era that has gone on from August 2017 when Seth Rollins finally became the ECW champion for the 3rd time and closed out that saga with Diamond Dallas Page. On that night, Kyle O'Reilly won the WWE Championship. It's 11 months later. Kyle O'Reilly is on this roster trying to be the ECW champion after failing to be WWE champion for longer than 2 months. Seth Rollins stands here 11 months later, still the ECW champion, still the face of ECW, still unstoppable, still unbeatable, still the greatest of all time. And after half an hour here tonight, there is one thing he will still be, and that is the ECW champion. You have lined up so many in front of Seth Rollins at this point. You could line up all of his challengers, and all of them have one thing in common. They all failed to beat Seth Rollins. O'Reilly's failed once. Omega's failed once. AJ Styles has failed. Samoa Joe has failed. Drew McIntyre has failed. Roderick Strong has failed. Baron Corbin has failed. Bobby Roode has failed. Diamond Dallas Page has failed. And we will add Kyle O'Reilly to that list once more here at Heatwave. Seth Rollins gets ready to make another successful title defense. Oh, I know, of course, about that training injury. Is Rollins injured? What if I told you? That would be spoiling it. And if I told you, Kyle O'Reilly could have an advantage. Here we go. The timer is in the top right corner. And we begin. 30 minutes. The last time there was an Iron Man match was back in May, I believe, of last year. between Bobby Fish and Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. It ended 2-1 to Bobby Fish, retaining his WWE Championship that evening as he went on to become one step closer to setting his historic reign that, of course, the challenger here in this one brought to an end. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, was... Heatwave does not really lie that well that good within Seth Rollins, shall we say. It is not really a positive evening, a positive event for Rollins. He was at this event last year where he lost his ECW Championship back to Diamond Dallas Page. However, we do not have to worry about that. History does not have a tendency to repeat itself with Seth Rollins. Where he may have failed once, he will not plan on failing again. First minute is down here. But there is still so much to go in this one. There is still so much they have to try and, I guess for lack of a better term, get themselves through. You know, they have to prepare for as well. Would probably be the... Oh, good God. Oh. O'Reilly just may have thought things through a little bit too much there, but they have to prepare themselves. They have to be ready for this one. They have to know when to hit a move and how much impact it will have. Rollins hitting with the first big move of this matchup there with that knee with that springboard knee there down at the Kyle O'Reilly. They have to spread their ability out. They have to, they have to pace themselves. That's the word I was finally looking for. They have to pace themselves in this one. It's all well and good trying to go all out in these first few minutes and getting that first fall. That first fall can change a lot in this matchup. But if after that first fall you find yourself exhausted, you find yourself fatigued, what good did it do? What good was it getting that first fall? Because now you can't fight on, and your opponent could easily get 3 or 4 unanswered falls against you because you're fatigued. You can't fight back. You can't counter. The little things there, like Rollins, took his time between each and every punch there. And he's not racing for a cover. He's not racing for a big move right now. He's biding his time. O'Reilly, brainbuster there. Big move to strike this early on, but the challenger trying to feel pretty confident about it right now. We know these two men already know each other so well from that match at Money in the Bank. Kyle O'Reilly, I will admit there, was inches away from being the champion, but that has been the case so many times against Seth Rollins, and it just never comes to be, because Rollins, he only needs that little inch to make it a mile between you and that ECW Championship going around your waist. Face first into the turnbuckle there. The champion sent the challenger, Seth Rollins. If he wins here tonight, he's on his way to SummerSlam, and he's on his way to making history of becoming the second champion within this universe to hold a title for 365 days. If he wins at SummerSlam, we certainly can hope that he will be breaking the record that Bobby Fish set. The longest reigning champion in this universe at 390 days that, of course, that man, as I said, went on to beat. Coming up to 4 minutes into this matchup now. There's not really been, like I said, there's not really been a lot of big moves in this one so far. When you think about it, you're 5 minutes into a match. That may sound like, a little bit, and especially with some of the matches we've seen here tonight, that could be, I think, for O'Reilly and, Neville and Roderick Strong, that was about halfway. Oh, good God. No! Oh, no. The forearm in the face! Kyle O'Reilly trying to strike fast here. Trying to strike early. O'Reilly looking for Armageddon this early on. Rollins counters him as if to say, sit down. You need to learn where you belong. And there is a clothesline to create some separation. What I was going to say was that Neville and Roderick Strong earlier on this evening was about 5-10 minutes. It was about 5. Well, it was about 5 minutes. But it was about halfway through their match. And you think about it in this one, that's only 1/6 of the way. That's about 15%. Then again, 25% through the match will be about 6 minutes, if my math is correct, which it is. So, 15% is only an estimate, but definitely 20% of the way through the matchup will be after this minute has passed. Cover made by Rollins now, and O'Reilly still kicking out very early on. you're seeing the attitude within Seth Rollins, taking things piece by piece, not exerting a whole lot of energy except for this big move that he strikes with there. Big time. Sunset flip powerbomb. O'Reilly hitting hard, but Rollins hitting hard to the barricade as well. Spinning kick as well. And down goes the ECW champion temporarily. There goes Kyle O'Reilly. Oh, I don't think he didn't get the distance. If anything, he grazed him, but now going exactly how he did at Money in the Bank. The same game plan exacting there. He tried to take away Seth Rollins' leg, and that's exactly the right idea for Kyle O'Reilly, I will admit it. And this now is what we saw in ECW against Minoru Suzuki, I believe it was. This back suplex into the German, which will transition into a suplex now. That move itself is incredibly impactful, but you add the impact, you add the danger that being on the outside brings with it, and it's going to do even more damage. Count up to 7 here. O'Reilly now, pointing down with the elbow there, and Kyle O'Reilly though will get sent back in the ring by the ECW champion, who does need to think of something quickly, because that was too dangerous in my eyes for Rollins. Rollins may need to think up a big move here to turn the pace back around in this matchup. Northern Lights suplex. There's the cover and a kick out from O'Reilly. I talked about that big move. And when Seth Rollins goes to the top rope, you know a big move is imminent. Phoenix splash from Rollins. And he goes into the cover here. Will this grant him the first fall? No. O'Reilly does his best to kick out ASAP there. Rollins kind of looking down as if to think, right, okay, now what? Now what else can I bring out here? Step up Enziguri is what he can bring out. O'Reilly goes down, but Rollins couldn't capitalize there, face first into the mat. O'Reilly now will slip over into a quick cover of his own here, looking for that first fall, and he's not going to get it. Just past, well, we're just about 8 minutes into this matchup now, and if you ask me, I don't think we're any closer to a first fall in this one than what we were at the start of this one. Both men have looked for that, maybe an opening to hit a big move. I don't think either of them have come close to getting that big win. You know, that big first fall that can turn a match around. I think it was about this point in the first Iron Man match, the last one, sorry, that I should reference, between Fish and Nakamura, where that first fall came in from Shinsuke Nakamura. We're seeing right now that that's not really the case in this one. Rollins, though, here we go. Superplex, follows through, Falcon Arrow, and that is what makes him the greatest of all time. For the first fall in this one, no, O'Reilly gets that shoulder up at 2. Rollins, submission-based offense now, been training with Minoru Suzuki for stuff like this. The cardio of Rollins has always been known about him, but he's been making sure he's more physical, more aggressive in these matches, and that's where the bodyguard of ECW has come into play. That is where the man with the worst personality in the world has been shining through for Seth Rollins. Big forearm counter there by Kyle O'Reilly, and here it comes again, scrapes the boot, and the forearm shot will bring the champion down. Coming close to 10 minutes into this matchup now, and you got to imagine that O'Reilly is hoping for that first fall very soon. Back to the knee, though. The same plan as Money in the Bank. And I will admit the knee as well that Rollins injured in training. I don't know the degree of the injury right now. I don't know if it's fine. I don't know if it's still hurting. Rollins would not tell me. He would not resolve this with me. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. And he did get it. O'Reilly. Armageddon applied on Seth Rollins here for the first time in this matchup. Will Rollins tap out? He didn't have Money in the Bank. And he won't right now. He fights himself out of it there, and Rollins going to be glad about that. We are up now. 10 minutes in this matchup has just arrived. 20 to go. 1/3 of the way through this matchup, but no fall has been decided. Big knee in the corner, and that has busted open O'Reilly. He's going to have to go 2/3 of this matchup busted open and hit with another Phoenix splash by Seth Rollins. Rollins into the cover to get that first fall, and Kyle O'Reilly still able to kick out. Good counter there by O'Reilly, I will admit. Oh, step up into Enziguri as well. I'm not really so worried about this matchup because I know what Rollins' cardio is like. I know how he can cope within a match of this, you know, within a match like this, how he's able to survive. What makes Seth Rollins so good is his cardio. Well, it's a part of it. There's so much to Rollins that makes him so great that I think just picking one part would be unfair. Rollins, leapfrog. A little bit slow there, kind of showing the fatigue of this matchup, maybe setting in Northern Light suplex, but O'Reilly knows that going for the cover is not the right thing to look for. I think O'Reilly might have been planning a trip to the top rope there, but the fatigue is setting in now for the challenger. I think that busted open wound is also having an impact on it. If O'Reilly thought he was going to beat Rollins over time, well, he's certainly not doing a good job of demonstrating it right now by gasping for breath right there. Cover on Rollins, who is still more than comfortable with kicking out early. Picks Rollins back up here. Rollins, though, with a big counter. Nicely done indeed. Looking for a suplex now, and he nailed him with it. See the reaction there from Kyle O'Reilly, the non-existent reaction, just showing the fatigue. Snapdragon suplex. That, in my eyes, is the first fall sealed, but O'Reilly kicked at it too. 12 minutes now down in this one. We're approaching halfway here. And Rollins has O'Reilly up on that top rope again. That step up Enziguri strikes. No response in this one from Kyle O'Reilly, and that may have given Rollins the intuition to go for it. Superplex, roll through into the Falcon Arrow again. Still as impressive as the first time he hits it. Rollins now goes up to the top rope. Is he thinking Phoenix Splash here? No, Frog Splash though, and a cover on O'Reilly. This will do it in my eyes, but not in the eyes of Kyle O'Reilly. And look at Rollins now. Look at the genius within the champion. Backs himself up a little bit. He knows he could get tired at any moment here. So he waits. And yes, that did give Kyle O'Reilly a window to get back in this one. I will admit that that is the case that we're seeing right now. Backbreaker there. Ouch. And O'Reilly. Oh no. Oh no. Guillotine choke from Kyle O'Reilly, but Rollins' arm is underneath the ropes. Thank you, referee. Great work there by the referee. Didn't let O'Reilly gain an advantage with it. Made sure to get across the fact that he was in the ropes, and it had to be a rope break. Went for the kick in the gut. Nice counter. Spinning heel kick by Rollins. Just pacing. And pacing is key in this one. Boston Crab. Are you sure, ref? I mean, the Rollins one was fine because his arm was literally wrapped around the rope, but that one seemed a little bit too fair, and now a little bit too lenient maybe, and now too strict rather. My apologies there on getting the word wrong. Oh, what a lariat there from O'Reilly. Come on, Rollins, we're about halfway in this matchup now. The score's still tied at nothing. If it was to stay, at this rate, if it was to stay 0-0, if we were to draw, then I will say right now we're not going to let it end there. We will go to a sudden death overtime. First fall wins. But we're almost halfway in the matchup right now. The score's still even. Neither has gained an advantage over the other, really. Rollins now pulling himself up to that top rope again. Kyle O'Reilly forcing himself to his feet, though I don't think he was aware of Rollins. Meteora from the champion there. Big time move on that injured knee, no less. Goes into the cover, but O'Reilly can still kick out. And ladies and gentlemen, as Rollins locks into the chin lock, we are halfway through this matchup now. 15 minutes into this, and we are still tied. This is truly too close to call right now, and I've got to give No! Chasing the dragon! It's like O'Reilly says to us halfway. Chasing the dragon to Seth Rollins. Rollins, come on, you got to kick out, man. You got to kick out into the cover to get the first fall. Yes! That first fall at this point in the matchup could hugely change the impact of the match. Rollins knew it, and he did great to kick out there. Kyle O'Reilly now with a knee of his own into the face of Rollins. Even after 15 minutes, Kyle O'Reilly still has a move like that lined up in his arsenal to strike with. Oh God, and he's even got this going for him. Look at the stomps there by O'Reilly, mercilessly into the chest. That's what you got to do to be champion. You know, I can't condemn the actions of Kyle O'Reilly. I can condemn that. Come on, ref. Oh no, another guillotine choke on its way. Come on, Rollins, you've trained with this. You haven't been around Minoru Suzuki for the last few weeks, being locked in these for weeks on end for nothing. Rollins just keeping himself, you know, just keeping it, he's moving about as well, you know, he's making it tough for O'Reilly to keep a firm lock on it. He's wriggling his neck around, he's wriggling his body around, but he is staying in this hold now for a long period of time, and he could start to fade if he doesn't do just that. Look at the power by Rollins, and down into the mat goes O'Reilly. Oh, great stuff there by Seth Rollins, and here we go now. Falcon Arrow incoming from Seth Rollins. Now I know what you may be saying to yourself, oh, why hasn't Rollins gone for the curb stomp? Why has he gone for Architect's Annihilation? Why have I not even seen a buckle bomb in this one? Patience. Patience. Those moves take a lot of energy out of them to hit, so you don't want to be exerting too much. Oh, scrap that. What the hell? Rollins, no. Rollins, I don't agree with this one, mate. Seth Rollins is thinking too over the top here. Rollins gonna fly. Suicide dive. A big move, yes. A risky move, yes. And a move that could have had a detrimental effect on this matchup, yes. Rollins may have hit it, but his ribs and his knee just smashed into the thin padding on the outside. And O'Reilly's right back up on his feet in the dragon screw as well. Oh, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? That was not wise there from Seth Rollins. We're back on the outside here. Come on, Rollins. Just stay in it, man. Just stay in this one. 18 minutes has passed in what has been an absolutely outstanding match. No, Rollins, that's too far. Oh my God, Phoenix Splash to the outside. You are kidding me, Seth Rollins. A Phoenix Splash from that far. And Rollins covers O'Reilly for the first fall. There's two and a kick out. Oh my goodness. My guess is that open wound on O'Reilly's forehead was nothing more than a cut, maybe, because it hasn't opened that much more since this match has progressed. I mean, oh no, Rollins, no, chasing the dragon. No. This can't be happening. Rollins, you know what to do. At almost 19 minutes into the match, there's one. Oh, he's the greatest. Oh, he's the greatest of all time, and there's no doubt about it. Rollins kicking out at one. That is my champion. That is a man I am proud of. Oh! What a move there from O'Reilly. Leaping from the second rope with that DDT. After two chasing the dragons, after sitting in Armageddon and not getting any closer to a first fall, O'Reilly has to be thinking in his mind, was saying, give me time, was that wise? But Rollins is feeling the problem as well. I mean, look at the difference from their first matchup. The match was over by now. Rollins had beaten O'Reilly even after O'Reilly had targeted the leg of Rollins mercilessly throughout the matchup. Now, though, at almost 20 minutes into this matchup, it's nothing. You can't tell a winner in this one right now. As we head into the final home stretch of this matchup, the last 10 minutes, which could be 1-0 O'Reilly. Oh, what? It is! No! Rollins, what were you thinking, man? Oh, he lulled him in. He lulled him in. Rollins, powerbomb cutter to O'Reilly. O'Reilly got the fall. He got the fall over Rollins, but I don't think Rollins had the energy to kick out, or he was sizing himself up. He sacrificed himself for this. Architect's Annihilation. 1, 2, 3. Even Stevens. just like that, it is 1-1 in the final 9 minutes of this matchup. They have put everything on the line. You can see the sweat all covering their bodies. And they've still got 10 minutes to go. The cover, yeah, kick out from Rollins at 1. Oh no, he's gonna scrape the boot again. And that forearm drills Rollins in the face. The champ is down. And O'Reilly now, he's going after the leg. He's going after the leg. Oh my God, Rollins, don't tap out. Don't tap out. Do not tap out. Yeah. That injured knee of Seth Rollins has to be screaming in agony right now. Look at how slow, though. Look at how slow O'Reilly was heading into that heading towards that turnbuckle. How much time that gifted Seth Rollins to counter. Back he comes. What a drop kick there. 1-1 now. It stays as it is. We're off to sudden death still. I've got to commend both men's performance in this matchup so far. They are exhausted. And every sense of that word, no doubt about it, rings true for both these men. But they are fighters, they are warriors, and they are trying to be the champion. Tiger suplex, there's a bridge, and Rollins kicks out immediately. You are a star. Stay in there. I'm seeking that final... Oh, no. Yes. Armageddon countered there. It looked like O'Reilly had Armageddon in mind from the way he was planned on grabbing at Seth Rollins there. Suplex from Rollins now just to slow things down a little bit. I don't agree with the running from Rollins. That could have wasted precious energy. Up on top. Frog splash. Will that grant the second fall to Rollins for the 2-1 lead? No. O'Reilly will not fade away. O'Reilly will not give in, but neither will the champion. Rollins now. Torture rack backbreaker. Wow. Lovely. Gorgeous piece of work there from Seth Rollins. Better than Roderick Strong's, I'd say. And there's that drop kick again. O'Reilly, I think, exhausted himself. He put too much in the last 10 minutes or so of the matchup, and he's paying for it. O'Reilly, though, triangle choke. Triangle choke applied. Don't tap out. Don't tap out. Don't tap out, Rollins. Do not tap out. Hang in there. I know you're fatigued. I know he's restricting your ability to breathe, but stay in there. Oh, look at that. Take a look at that strength. Oh. I am knackered, shall I say, watching these guys. I don't know what it must be like in the ring. Guillotine choke incoming. Again in this one, just after the triangle choke as well. Rollins hadn't even had a chance to catch his breath. That could result in a tap out here. Stay in it. Stay in it, man. Stay in it. Stay in this one. No! No, 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 no! It's 2-1. Rollins, please. Please tell me. No, 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 no. Rollins, you got to get out of this, man. Rollins. Yes, Rollins counters, but you need to do something fast. O'Reilly counters. Dragon screw to the injured knee. Oh, my God, no. No, 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 no. This can't happen. Please, 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 Rollins, please. Please, please. Just something, anything. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Final 5 minutes of the matchup we are in for. If it stays as it is, Kyle O'Reilly is the ECW champion. He said he could beat Rollins if he had time. And that tap out, there's no other way for it. There's no other way to say it. That he beat Rollins with that tap out. Double underhook. Oh, come on. You are kidding me. How can you do this 25 minutes into a match? A trio of double underhook suplexes into a double underhook facebuster. Rollins, though, moves out of the way. Forearm shot in the face. Kick in the gut. Mercy. Mercy. Curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. 2-2 with 4 minutes to go. You guys are something else. Rollins now, back suplex maybe, into a face buster. 4 minutes to go. One of these guys has got to use every last second they have to their advantage to be the champion. O'Reilly again with that guillotine choke, but how much can he put into that? He is as drained as Rollins. How much can he put into this move? Rollins could tap out, yes, but you need to have the force to make someone tap out, and this move has to drain you as much as it can your opponent. And that's how O'Reilly has escaped it here, or Rollins rather, has escaped it here. That is how O'Reilly has not got the submission victory. And there's that drop kick again, and look at how slow these two men are now. The exhaustion is showing, the fatigue is setting in this one. 3 minutes to go. Drop kick from Rollins again. Kick in the gut now from the champion. Is he going to go for another powerbomb cutter? Indeed he is. Rollins nailed him with it. But what more can the champ do? He's got 2 minutes left to think up something big here. And O'Reilly just will not stay down right now. O'Reilly refusing to stay down, much to the chagrin of the ECW champion, who comes in with a flurry of strikes there. But Rollins has to think up something big. He's getting himself readied up for this last big phase. O'Reilly just too far away there for Rollins to think about anything to do with that a turnbuckle there. O'Reilly now sending the champion into the turnbuckle. Oh no, strikes in the turnbuckle now into the ribs. Those punches connecting, and one hard one in the face as well. Went for the basement dropkick. Rollins able to avoid it. And Rollins now, I think he might have been thinking sling blade, but just exhausted there. That time he pulled it out of the bag. I'm looking at that timer. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost finished. 1 minute 35 left. And Rollins is just trying to prep something up here. He sends O'Reilly up to the top rope one last time. O'Reilly, though, counters him. O'Reilly looking to fly and hits the drop kick. Come on, Rollins. Big counter, big counter, big counter, big counter. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Please, please, no. Yes, Rollins gets himself out of it. He evades that one. And he sends O'Reilly into the turnbuckle now. He has it in him as well in the final minute of action. Seth Rollins. Buckle bomb. Come on. Come on. Don't be exhausted. Stay in this one. Rollins lifts up O'Reilly. Architects. Annihilation. Take your time. Take your time. This one's over. This one is about to end. Kyle O'Reilly fought valiantly, but in the end it wasn't enough. Kick in the gut. Curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2. Oh, yes. And to really rub it in, a final curb stomp. Seth Rollins doesn't even want the final cover. He stands tall. Time expires. Rollins wins 3-2. He does it again. He does it again. Can anyone stop this man? Can anyone? Anyone? Hello? Hello? Is that no one? Is that no one I see able to stop Seth Rollins? Because that is the case. There ain't a single soul out here who can stop that man. There is no one on ECW. There is no one in the world who can stop Seth Rollins. You can fire whatever you want at Seth Rollins for as long as you want. He just proved to you tonight he will get right back up to his feet. He will stand tall, and he remains your ECW champion. And now, there's one left to achieve. There's one goal left to achieve. I look at the date, and I look at what's next. SummerSlam for Seth Rollins. the date he became ECW champion, and he could make it 365 days. And I hope he goes even further, and the greatest of all time sets in the greatest record of all time. We are finished at Heatwave. What an evening this has been. But now we are finished. Darling, this episode, Why can I hear Kenny Omega's music? What the fuck? Why can I hear Kenny Omega's music at the end of the show? What the hell is going on here? And here comes Kenny Omega now, the new ECW Television Champion, and his eyes are locked on Seth Rollins. What the hell does this mean for Omega and for Rollins himself? Oh, and look at this, face to face with the champion. He is staring him down. The champions are staring each other down. What the hell does this mean? What is this whole thing mean? Omega backing himself out of the ring, but with his eyes locked on Rollins. What the hell just happened to close things out of Heatwave? Omega wants Rollins.